I'll be talking about one of my favorite painters, Whistler. Actually, I'm going to present a paper. James McNeill Whistler, born in 1834, died in 1903. A professor asked to give a 5-minute paper is like asking an elephant to get in the back seat of a Volkswagen. It's just, I'll do my best. This paper is titled Whistler and His Painting Falling Rocket, A Close Encounter with Non-Objectivism. Whistler, an artist from childhood, overcame parental objections to art as a career by failing at everything else. By the time his family had moved to St. Petersburg, Russia, he had coerced payment for a drawing tutor and a year at the Art Academy. After a decade of drawing, he moved to London, where his half-sister was living with her new husband, whose night job was printmaking. Whistler became friends with the brother-in-law and moved in. From him, he learned printmaking and is now considered one of the finest etchers in history, a very fine printmaker, having to do with probably that 15 years of drawing that came before everything else. This is supposedly the one I'm talking about, little Evelyn. So how did Whistler come to paint his Falling Rocket, a 19th century near non-objective painting? What qualities made this possible for him? He marched to his own interior drummer, claiming his right to choose his own birthplace postnatally. Sometimes Baltimore, sometimes St. Petersburg, but never Lowell, where he was actually born. In this, he prefigured the info-fiction of the conceptualist Leo Zano by 75 years. He also felt free to ignore fashion and dressed in costume. That is, wild colors and patent leather boots laced with satin ribbons. These actions prefigured an unknown 60s conceptualist personal appearance manipulations. Personally acquainted with Schumann, he began to title his works as though they were musical compositions, a totally abstract art form, arrangements, harmonies, symphonies, and nocturnes. Whistler, ever the contrarian, perhaps in reaction to his friends, the pre-Raphaelites, rejected the idea that art needed a moral purpose. This made the illustration of virtue, and therefore realism, unnecessary. He personally liked Manet, and like Manet, was influenced by Japanese prints, which allowed for large flat areas with little detail. Look at Whistler's mother's dress, a near featureless black shadow. Also like Manet, he was aware of Turner, who at times was satisfied to leave his canvases 95% object free. And last, he was a tonalist who loved the nocturne. This offered the opportunity to create a murky, undifferentiated space and to paint Falling Rocket, a close encounter with abstraction and near objectivity, which earned him the famous review by Ruskin, a paint pot flung into the public eye. It also earned him my admiration. As I see it, this is how it is with artistic creation, a slow journey which moves step by step into unknown territory from what is to what might be. Do I have any time left? Yeah. Oh, good. I didn't think that would happen. Extra things about Whistler. He was actually a short person who was known as a brawler. Whether this was physical or just in his speech, I'm not sure. I don't know if that's known, but I would say that wearing patent leather boots laced with silk ribbons would start a fight in almost any pub you went into. And I'd like to clarify an aspect of Whistler's mother. Although she had a difficult life, losing numerous children at early ages, as was known to happen in the early 19th century, the grumpy look on her face is due to the fact that Whistler required her to sit for him for the portrait 75 times. It probably went from a reasonably happy expression to finally like, get this painting done.